just like this idea that you know, the breath can be a creative thing, you know, that just breathing can be a creative thing. And so I wanted to explore that. And also illumination. In these manuscripts, they're illuminated. So there's a play on, you know, this sort of historical idea of illuminated manuscripts, but also light itself, you know, actual light, this actual illumination, that, you know, these spiritual icons that we've sort of gravitated towards throughout history are these things that illuminate for us some sort of truth, at least the truth of the period, you know. What could be more truthful than just existence, you know? Here's this record that my breath literally made a mark, you know, and it was a beautiful mark, and people can meditate on that. Wow, that breath, that was literally just the breath that created that image. This is the book here, and my initial idea was a book that was sort of transparent and with light emanating from within the book. It would be illuminating these transparent sheets of mylar that had oil paintings on them. I decided to call them illuminated manuscripts because it sort of referenced this sort of medieval Gothic tradition of these illuminated books that were spiritual, and they're just beautiful, you know, artwork done around the lettering, and they were just objects of beauty. And so I thought, you know, a contemporary version of that with these abstract spiritual images, contemplative images, with light literally emanating from the book. So I needed to find something that had a transparent quality, and I found these portfolios online that just kind of had the look that I wanted. This is sort of what we're going to build larger books out of. I'm going to literally have to custom build the books and have somebody fabricate them for me. And the other problem I initially had was just the light source. You know, I wanted something really thin. I actually would love something paper thin, and I haven't been able to find anything that's affordable and really creates the sort of look or has the quality of light that I'm looking for. So these LED panels have worked out so far, and yeah, it's kind of how it's set up. My initial idea was that every single page was going to be lit. Like I was going to find some sort of lighted projection material because I wanted every page to glow. Like the book itself was just vibrant with light. Yeah. Like if you were approaching it in a dark room, light would literally be shooting out of the sides of the book. So these are prototypes, and I'm kind of watching technology develop, and there's these new LED transparent panels that are flexible and they're thin, but they're still pretty expensive, so it's cost prohibitive at this point. But ultimately, I'd love to have every single sheet just a glowing experience, you know. Whereas this prototype is set up, and probably the first few books are going to be set up. The pages are going to fit within here. They're going to be inside this binder. And when you open the book, initially just the cover sheet is going to be up here that's backlit. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to literally move this, and underneath here you're going to have the paintings. You're going to lift the first one up, then bring this panel over, and then bring that painting across, and then you can, you know, observe it and contemplate it, and when you're finished you'll push it aside, pull the panel over, and bring the next one over. So it's sort of a self-contained light, backlit light source, but it's not really where I want to go with these ultimately. And so technology, I think, is moving, it's driving in that direction. It's going to become more affordable to where these light panels may be pretty inexpensive in the next 5 years or so, and I can actually produce the exact books that I want to produce. But this is a start, you know. And this isn't even what I initially drew in my designs. My designs were fairly crude, you know, because when I started thinking about these was probably about 7 years ago, and this technology didn't even exist then. So these will be the first that I do. And I explored, you know, companies like LG. I think I found online that they were doing some very flexible backlit screens that I could use. And one of the things I've thought of doing is literally just scanning these images and creating online books where people can peruse these high-definition images that are backlit just because of the screen, so you're getting the same effect, you know?
Yeah.
And that's another quality that I like about these, is that they're going to be very accessible in that sort of backlit way, because if you're looking at them from your computer, that's exactly what you're doing.
Right.
It's the same thing. So I think part of what I'd like to see is just building a large volume of these books and making it so that people have access to them in some sort of public space where you can literally check one out within the space, and you know, have viewing areas where people could go in and look at them and have an experience, a meditative and contemplative experience with them. And you know, the grandiose part of me wants to say actually have some supporters maybe help build the space, you know, and maintain it, and literally putting these spaces up all around the world, like maybe 5 or 10 of them, and finding ways to produce these, you know, large numbers of these, and having, you know, volumes all over the place.